Okay, great guys. Thanks for confirming. So let us start the session, guys. So if you guys remember, yesterday we had our first demo where I have told you about what is data engineering, what is Google Cloud Platform, what is the course curriculum, what are the course details. All of these topics we have discussed in a very detailed way. And if anyone have missed the yesterday's session, what you have to do is that connect with the admin, get the recording video, and try to watch it again. Okay, so that is what you have to do. So today is our demo session 2, which is like a regular session only. It is a continuous session only, guys, I'm telling you. So this is our session 2. In this session I'm going to start with an actual topic, that is cloud. Give me 1 minute, guys, I'm getting one call. Give me 1 minute. Okay, sorry guys. So this is our course content. If you guys remember, we are going to start with our very first topic, that is cloud overview. In this topic we are going to discuss about why we need the cloud platform and what is the difference between the on-premises versus cloud platform. Let us try to understand first, and after that we will proceed with all other topics one by one. Okay, now why we need the cloud platform? So if you wanted to understand the cloud platforms, you need to understand how people were working in a traditional method, how people were working in the traditional method, and what are the challenges that they were facing while they are working with the traditional practices. And let us try to understand. So if they are facing such a kind of a challenges, how the cloud platforms came into the picture, and how cloud is fixing those problems or challenges. Let us try to understand one by one. Okay, so to understand that, let me gonna give you a simple scenario. Assume that there is a one company. Assume that there is a small company, and that company wanted to create a new application for their users. Okay, so assume that there is one some company is there. Okay, that company is trying to create a new application, a new app. They wanted to create it for their users. So whenever you wanted to create an application, you need two things. One is the code you have to develop, and you need to have the infrastructure where the code is running, right? So you need to have a proper code so that the application will run. And if you wanted to run your code, you need the proper infrastructure. Let us try to understand how the traditional working model works. Okay, so if you wanted to, if a one company wanted to roll out a new application, what they have to do, let us try to understand first. Okay, a new for example, assume that a company wanted to roll out a new application. So that what will happen, a business people will be there, a business people will come up with a requirement for the application. They come up with a requirement for the application. Now the business analyst will be there. He will gather the needs from the businesses, and they analyzes it, and they convert that into a set of high level technical information, and they send that information to the solution architect. So according to the business requirement, the business analyst will gather all the needs from the business, and he analyzes it, and he converts that entire requirements into the high level technical requirements, and then he passes that information to the solution architect. Okay, now the solution architect, what he will do is that he has to create or design the architecture to be followed for the deployment of this application, whatever the application that they're planning to deploy it, right? So the solution architect has to create the architecture diagram. Okay, so while he is creating an architecture diagram, it involves, so who has to create the code, and what is the programming language they have to use it, and all of those details. And in the architecture diagram, it also involves the amount of infrastructure requirement, the amount of infrastructure such as the front end server, or a back end web servers, or the databases, or the load balancers, or the servers, or the specification type. So plenty of these things. Okay, so an entire architecture, it will show about all the details related to the infrastructure as well as the code. So code will be developed by the people only. The developers will be there. They will create the code. So there is no problem. But if you wanted to have the infrastructure in a traditional working model, the infrastructure has to be managed by whom, sir? If you know about the traditional methodology, so the infrastructure has to be managed by the company itself. The company has to manage their own infrastructure for the application deployment. So that is the reason, if you go 10 years before, most of the companies having their own infrastructures are having their own data center. Okay, so they manage a data center. Inside the data center, they will be having all the infrastructure setup. Okay, they will be having all the infrastructure setup. Now the what the solution architect will do, he will send this code development process to the developers, and he will go and check with the infrastructure team saying that, do we have the entire infrastructure that is mentioned in the architecture diagram? Okay, so the solution architect will connect with the infrastructure team and ask for whatever the architecture that is mentioned in the architecture diagram, is it available? If it is available, then they can directly go for the development and they will try to deploy it. But most of the times, the infrastructure may not be readily available. Most of the times, the infrastructure may not be readily available in the data center. So what they have to do, sir? So that is where the solution architect will connect with the procurement team, and they have to put a request to the vendors team. Now the vendors team will try to purchase the hardware and deliver it to the data center. Okay, if the infrastructure is whatever the infrastructure that is required for the application is already available in the data center, then there is no problem. Then they can directly go for the deployment. Maybe some amount of infrastructure may be already available, but if the additional infrastructure or hardware is needed, they have to order it via procurement team. Now this team will create a request to the vendors team. Okay, so this procurement team create a request to the vendors team. Now the vendors team has to purchase the hardware and they have to deliver that to the data center. They have delivered it to the data center. This may take days or may take weeks, or it may take even months also for the hardware to be purchased and deliver it to the data centers. Okay, so this is what will happen. So this is the reason, this is a phase where they are taking a lot of time. See here, so they are taking days. Sometimes they may take a day, or they may take weeks also. Sometimes it could go up to months also for the entire hardware to be purchased and deliver it to the data center. Okay, once the infrastructure is received at the data center, the field engineers will come into the pictures. They will take care of the rack and stack equipment. They will take care of the rack and stack equipment. And then the system admins come into the picture, and they will do the initial configuration of the system. And then the network admins will take care of the network configuration and make sure that these entire systems are available over the network. And then the storage admins will come into the picture. The storage admins will come into the picture. They will assign the storage to the servers. And then the backup admins, they will assign or configure the backups. Once the entire infrastructure or entire hardware is ready as per the architecture diagram, so that's where the developers come into the picture, or application team come into the picture. What they try to do, whatever the code that they have developed, right, they will try to deploy that code on top of this infrastructure. Okay, on top of this infrastructure, they will deploy that code. So that's where your application is running properly. That's where your application is running. So what they will do, this infrastructure team, however, the field engineers, system admins, storage admins, backup admins, they will do all the configurations as per the requirement of the application. Once the infrastructure or hardware is ready as per the standards, the application team will deploy it on top of this infrastructure. That's where your application is running. So whatever the code that they have deployed, that's where the application gets created, and that's where your application is running properly. So this is what is people are following in the traditional working model, guys. So this is a very, very big model that people are facing. Each and every problem are facing a plenty of challenges working with the traditional model, I will tell you. But look at here. So if they wanted to create a new application, the business comes up with a requirement for the application. The business analyst will gather all the information from the business and converts that into a set of high level technical requirements and passes that information to the solution architect. Now the solution architect will design the architecture diagram to be followed, and he will check whether the infrastructure is readily available in the data center. If it is not readily available in the data center, he will connect with the procurement team. Procurement will place a request to the vendors team. Vendors team will purchase the entire hardware and deliver it to the data center. Once that is received at the data center, whatever the hardware that is received at the data center cannot be directly usable, guys. Cannot be directly usable. So to make it usable, the field engineers will take care of the rack and stack. The system admins will do the system configurations. Network admin do the network configurations. Storage admins will assign the storage. Backup admins will configure the backups. That's where, as per the standards that is mentioned in the solution architecture diagram, so the infrastructure or hardware is ready. Now the application team, whatever the code that they have developed, right, they are going to deploy the code on top of this hardware. That's where your application is available. That's where your application is available. So what is the problem, sir? Everything seems good only, but this traditional model takes a lot of problems. It gives a lot of problems. It takes a lot of time. Let us try to understand it. So let us try to understand it. So one of the biggest problem is that the turnover time. So the time you see here, guys, so if the additional hardware is required, if it is not available in the data center, we are taking a lot of time here. We may take days, weeks, and sometimes months also. So that means the turnover time varies from the months, weeks to the months for everything to be ready for the application deployment. So that is one of the problem. That's the reason we call it as a slow deployment model. Why? Because, sir, why it is a slow deployment model? The turnover time varies from the weeks to the months for the everything to be ready for the application deployment. So that's the reason I call the traditional working model as one of the slow deployment model. Okay, so that is one of the thing. And one more thing, if you look at here, there are many teams working behind the scene. There is a data center management is there. So if you wanted to manage the data center, you have to provide the 24/7 electricity, 24/7 cooling supply, and you have to manage these many people, these many teams. So the overall cost to maintain and deploy this working model is very high. So that's the reason the traditional working model is an expensive model. The overall cost to deploy and maintain this working model is very high. So that is the reason I am calling this as an expensive model. And one more thing is that some aspects can be automated, but most of the aspects here that you see that so if the additional hardware is required, you have to purchase it. If that is already received, you have to have a field engineer, system configuration, storage. These all the things, systems cannot be automated. Some aspects can be automated, but most of the things cannot be automated, guys, such as rack and stack cabling, or maybe some other deployment procedures are manual and slow. So that's the reason it is called as limited automation model. So limited automation will be there. And one more thing is that so because that so many teams working on so many different tasks, the chances of human error is very high. The chances of human error is very high, which leads to the inconsistency in the environment. Which leads to the inconsistency in the environment. Okay, so another major disadvantage with the traditional working model is that the wasted resources. Underutilization of the compute resources. Underutilization means what, sir? You may be buying the hardware a lot, but you are going to use it only half of them. Half of the resources only you are going to use it. That means the underutilization of the compute resources comes into the picture. That's called as a wasting the resources. So these many disadvantages we have it over the past decades, guys. Due to these many disadvantages over the past decades, the companies or the organizations are looking for a alternative solution or alternative way of working. So that's where the cloud platforms came into the picture. See here, you are facing a problem of slow deployment model. You are facing a problem of expensive, limited automation, human error, inconsistency in the environment, and wasted resources. Okay, so this is leads to the a lot of problems. That's where the companies are looking for an alternative solution. So that's where you have the cloud providers came into the picture. You have the cloud providers came into the picture. What the cloud providers do for us? What the cloud providers do for us? So you don't need to maintain any of these people. Okay, so this is what it is. You don't need to maintain this data center also. This entire things are not required. That is what the cloud providers say. What is cloud provider say? The cloud provider provides you the cloud computing services for the organizations that they don't need to manage the infrastructure. The cloud provider take care of the management of the infrastructure. So they only have to pay what amount of resources they have used. Okay, whatever the amount of resources that they have used, they have to pay the money. It is like this, guys. So for example, assume that if you wanted to, so the best example is that, sir, I wanted to eat a food. Assume that you wanted to eat a food. Okay, you wanted to have food. So if you wanted to have food, you have two options. One is you can cook the food at home. Okay, and hmm, and one more thing is that you can also go to the restaurant and you can have the food at restaurant. That is also possible, right? So for cooking a food, can you tell me what are the challenges that we have? You need to buy the stove, you need to buy the vegetables, you need to buy the rice, you need to buy the all the equipment that is required for you to cut the things, all of those things, right? So that is one thing. And you need to cook the food all on your own. You have to cook it, then only you can go for the eating, then only you can go for having the food. But if you go for a restaurant, you don't need to cook the food, you don't need to buy any of these things. You can directly order it and you can have the food. So while you are ordering, according to how much amount of you have ordered, you can only pay for that much amount. So this is like your cloud. So restaurants are like a cloud, guys. This is your traditional working model. In a traditional working model, you have to, or your company has to maintain the entire things that is required for your application deployment. Your company has to maintain all the things that is required for you to manage your application or maintain your application. But when you go for a cloud, you don't need to worry about the infrastructure management. That is taken care by the cloud provider itself. You have to worry about innovation. You have to come up with a innovation. That means the code you have to develop in an innovative way. The infrastructure is readily available in the cloud. You can just configure it, you can use it, you can configure it and deploy your application there. So that is what is the cloud platform, guys. So that's the reason most of the companies nowadays, now what will happen, sir? The solution architect will create the architecture diagram, the infrastructure that is required. There will be a DevOps engineer, he creates the entire infrastructure here only, and on top of this infrastructure the code will be deployed. That's where your application is there. So this entire burden is not there on the companies. Now the amount of infrastructure is whatever the infrastructure that is there, we are going to create in the cloud, and we will only pay for whatever the resources that we are using. Okay, so that is something. So whatever the solution architecture is created, the architecture diagram, the DevOps engineer will try to create the infrastructure in the cloud platform. There is no time gap. So that is the reason the company or the most of the organization says is that, so the cloud computing model is one of the faster model compared to the traditional. Compared to the traditional, the deployment model is faster, so you do not have a problem of slow deployment model in the cloud. And one more thing is that you don't need to manage the data center. You don't need to manage any of these teams. You can directly go for the deployment, and infrastructure is managed by the cloud itself. And one more thing is that you only pay for whatever the resources you are using. So that's the reason comparatively the cloud computing model is cheap. Comparatively, the cloud computing model is cheap, guys. And one more thing, in the cloud, everything works via API, application programming interfaces. In the cloud, everything works via API. If you're doing something via API, the automation is very high. If you are working with an API, the automation is very high. So that's the reason you do not have this problem also. Limited automation problem is also not there. And one more thing, so the human error only comes when many teams are working, because we do not have these teams, we do not have this thing. So that's the reason the human error is very less. So it does not lead to the inconsistency in the environment. Whenever there is a human error, then only it leads to the inconsistency in the environment. But we have a very less teams working on a different task. It does not create any human error, but the human error will be less, we can say, comparatively. And one more thing is that we only create whatever the resources that we need. We only create whatever the resources that we need. And one more thing is that in the cloud, there is a concept of scalability. There's a concept of scalability where you can increase your resources according to the demand. You can also decrease your resources according to the requirement. So that is what we call as scalability. So because of that feature in the cloud platforms, the wasted resources is comparatively less. Wasted resources in the cloud is comparatively less, because we only create the resources that are required. Whenever it is required, the as per the demand we can increase it, or as per the demand we can decrease it. So this is what we call it as less wasted resources. Okay, so this is how all of these challenges are fixed by the cloud platform. So that's the reason most of the companies are looking towards the cloud, guys. Most of the companies nowadays, almost all the companies have started utilizing the cloud only. It is because of these challenges, and because of these problems are totally fixed by the cloud platforms. If you guys wanted to see the difference between them in an on-premises working model or a traditional working model, both are same, guys. On-premises or traditional working model, an organization managing its own infrastructure to run their code or an application. So if there is an organization is there, if they are managing their own infrastructure to run their code or an application, that is what we call as a traditional working model. In a cloud computing model, an organization depends on the services provided by the cloud. In a cloud computing model, what will happen, sir? In a cloud computing model, an organization depends on the infrastructure managed by the cloud platforms, and they focus on the innovation. They focus on the innovation. So that is what we call as a cloud computing. Sir, if you ask me what is infrastructure, sir, if all the time you are mentioning infrastructure, what is mean by infrastructure? If you ask me, sir, infrastructure can be a server or a hardware or a software or a networking or a storage. So all of these things you can call it as an infrastructure. Okay, so this is what is the difference between the traditional working model as well as cloud computing model, guys. Okay, so this is the main reason that most of the companies are utilizing the cloud only. So that's the reason we have three leading cloud providers. That is, one is AWS, one more is Azure, the third one is GCP, and our main focus on the GCP because it is having a plenty of opportunities now. Okay, so that is what, guys. Out of all these things, if you ask me which is cheap, sir, if you ask me, GCP is one of the cost-effective solution comparatively. Cost-effective cloud provider comparatively, I would say. Okay, yeah. So this thing I will talk about later. Now tell me, guys, if anyone have any questions on the difference between the cloud computing model as well as difference between the cloud computing model as well as traditional working model. If you guys have any questions, please raise your hand. Please raise your hand, guys, if anyone have any question. Any questions, anyone, please? Okay, so if you do not have any questions, let us proceed further. Okay, look at here. So I already told you guys what is Google Cloud Platform. Let me gonna tell you one more time. Google Cloud Platform is one of the leading cloud provider who provides you the cloud computing services. And these services are very useful for the organizations to build the application, deploy the application, and scale the applications and services in the cloud platform. Okay, so it is one of the leading cloud provider who provides you the cloud computing services, which are very useful for the organizations. And these services are highly reliable, secure, and scalable infrastructure that they are providing. And we can also use the global extensive network of data centers. We can also utilize for this thing. And what all the services it provides you guys, if you ask me, so it provides you the compute services, it provides you the networking services, storage and database services, machine learning services, big data services, identity and security services. In our upcoming sessions, we wanted to become a GCP data engineer. We are mainly focused on these two things. One is storage and database, one more is big data. Okay, so that is what it is. If anyone have any questions, you can ask me. Otherwise, I'm going to start with our next topic, that is how to interact with the Google Cloud Platform. I'm going to start with how to interact with the Google Cloud Platform, guys. Okay, just to give you some idea only, I'm not going to full-fledgedly start it. Tomorrow we are going to start the how to interact with the GCP full-fledgedly, just to give you some idea. Okay, to just you give you some idea. For example, so let me gonna tell you about this one. So assume that what you wanted to do as a data engineer. Can you guys tell me what you wanted to do as a data engineer? Tell me guys, what we wanted to do as a data engineer. What is our roles and responsibilities? What we wanted to do? If you got a GCP data engineer, what you may do? You may extract the data. Okay. You may, okay, maybe data ingestion. You will focus on data ingestion. You will be working on data ingestion. You will be working on data storage. Right. You'll be working on data storage. You will also be working on data processing, data warehousing. You will also working on the orchestration. Orchestration. You will also working on the monitoring. So many other things also. Sir, we as a data engineer, we wanted to extract the data, transform the data, store the data, process the data, and analyze the data, orchestrate the data, monitor the pipeline. So all of these things we wanted to do, sir. Sir, if I wanted to do all of these things, where we are planning to do it, sir? Can you guys tell me? I wanted to do all of these things. Where we are planning to do? Where we are planning to do all of these activities? We are planning to Google Cloud Platform, isn't it? So because we wanted to do all of these activities, because what is Google Cloud Platform? Google Cloud Platform providing you the services, okay, providing you the wide range of services for you to store the data, process the data, analyze the data, orchestrate the data, creating a data pipeline. So we wanted to do all of these activities such as ingestion, storage, processing, warehousing, all of these activities we wanted to perform in the Google Cloud Platform, guys, because we already know Google Cloud Platform is one of the leading cloud provider which provides you the cloud computing services, which are very useful for the companies to utilize it for doing all of these activities, right? So sir, can you tell me, if I wanted to do these activities in the Google Cloud Platform, what are the interface methods are available? What are the interface? How can I connect it to the Google Cloud Platform? How to work with the Google Cloud Platform services, sir? Okay, so in Google Cloud Platform, we may be having plenty of services. We may be having plenty of services such as Google Cloud Storage, Cloud SQL, BigQuery, Dataproc, Dataflow, Airflow, and Data Fusion. Okay, plenty of these services are available. Okay, in Google Cloud Platform, you have a plenty of these services, and similarly, we have PubSub, Cloud Functions. So these many services are available in the Google Cloud Platform, guys. Sir, I wanted to work with these services. Sir, I wanted to work with these services to do these actions. Can you tell me what are the interface methods? If you ask me, sir, we have three interface methods are there. One is Cloud Console. One more is Cloud Shell. The third one is Cloud SDK. The third one is what, sir? Third one is Cloud SDK. Sir, we have total three methods are there. One is console. One more is Cloud Shell. So the third one is Cloud SDK. So these are the three interface methods are there to interact with the GCP services, guys. Okay. So, sir, I would like to work with these services. I wanted to do these all of these actions. So if you wanted to do all of these actions, you can able to go for these things, guys. You can able to go for these things. Okay. So that is how it works. So what is Cloud Console? What is Cloud Shell? What is Cloud SDK? That we will see tomorrow, guys. Okay. So I just wanted to give you some idea that what is this one, what is that one. I just told you. Okay. So if you wanted to, as a data engineer, sir, I wanted to perform these many activities in the Google Cloud Platform with the interacting with these many services. What are the interface methods are available? If you ask me, we have a console, Cloud Shell, Cloud SDK. So tomorrow onwards, we are going to focus on these things to interact with these services. I'm going to tell you what is console tomorrow, what is Cloud Shell tomorrow, what is Cloud SDK also tomorrow. Okay, so that is what. Right, so that is how. So you can also go to my notes, guys, tomorrow. Maybe tomorrow I will provide you the access to all of you guys. Okay, so first thing I will show you how do you access the material. So I have told you about the Google Cloud Platform introduction. You can go to this particular page. You have the Google Cloud Platform introduction here. And after that, this is what I'm going to tell you about GCP interfaces tomorrow. You have everything in the notes, guys. You don't need to take any notes. Everything is already there in the notes only. Okay, so you don't need to worry about it. Yeah. Now I just wanted to, I don't wanted to bore you with a lot of information today. If you guys have any questions, you can ask me. Okay, let us go with a little bit slow because some people may be able to catch up, some people may not be able to catch up. Let us go a little bit slow in maybe 1 or 2 weeks, and after that we will increase the pace. Yeah. Now tell me, guys, if anyone have any questions on that course, or if anyone have anything. Yes, Anupam, you have any
Sir,
question?
Airflow is one of the service in GCP.
Correct.
Just right?
Correct. Yes.
Airflow is a service or monitoring tool or dashboard kind of tool?
It's a
Monitoring tool,
service. It's a
scheduling tool,
service. It's a service.
service.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. It's a workflow orchestration tool, or you call it as a, in Google Cloud Platform, it is a one of the service also called as a cloud composer. Yeah.
Okay. Yes.
Okay. So any other questions, anyone, please?
Yeah, for data engineering, it's a Python is required for.
For sure. The Python is required for sure. Okay. We are covering the Python. Okay. So SQL and Python is very much in Python. So 4 languages I will tell you, guys. Okay. So SQL, Python, PySpark. Okay, so SQL you need to have a, so this is a prerequisite. Python and PySpark I am covering here. How much amount of knowledge for the Python and PySpark that is required for you, I am going to teach. You don't need to worry about whether it is basic or advanced, how much we need to know. Don't worry about it. I am going to cover the Python and PySpark in the sessions. SQL is a prerequisite for the course. Okay, yeah, got it. Yes,
It's SQL also require the advanced SQL, right?
not required. So you have intermediate knowledge on the SQL, that is more than enough. We will be having plenty of assignments on the SQL also, guys, so that you can, if you have a basic knowledge now, by the end of these sessions, you can make use. I mean, you can practice it so that you can become an intermediate expert in the SQL. Yeah.
Do we need a window function CT in
Of course,
SQL?
that is SQL, right? Yeah.
But you told advanced is not required.
See, CT and the window functions. I have given you the topics yesterday. Okay, those who did not see it, see here. I have told you yesterday that these topics are for the SQL is very much important. That's basics only, guys. So you mean to say basic means create table and all of those things? No, that's not that. So concepts is different. The development is different. Knowing is different. Implementation is different. So you need to know it. I'm asking you to know it only. I'm not asking you to implement it. Okay. What is data types? At least you should know integer, float, boolean, time, string. So create, these are DDL, DML operations. From class, where class, order by, group by, union, union all, aggregate functions, ranking functions, joins, subqueries. These are I'm expecting. So these are all, if you know it, I'm asking you to know it. Okay. If in our upcoming sessions, we will worry about how to develop it. Okay, how to create a scripts out of these basics. These are basics. Okay, basics are concepts only. With the help of these basics, we are going to develop our scripts. Okay, develop our SQL queries for analyzing the data. Okay, yeah.
CT is not written here.
CTE are the subqueries, one another same, I would say that. Okay, so CTE,
Window
you define it
function.
one time. Windows are ranking functions are both same, right?
Okay.
Right, row number, rank, dense rank are nothing but window functions, right? Yeah. Don't worry about it. So that means if you are asking me those things, that means you already know it. Okay. So SQL was never been a problem, will never be in a problem for anyone. Okay. So if you do not know SQL also, guys, I'm telling you, for those people who do not know SQL or for those people who already know SQL, it is hardly a 5 to 6 hours of practice. 5 to 6 hours of practice. If you do it, you can become an intermediate expert in the SQL, because SQL is not a language. SQL is not a language. It's not a programming language. It's a database language. Okay, it's a database language. So it's very simple. Very, very simple. It's a structured query language. Structured query language. Structured means already streamlined. Okay, when you're dealing with something which is already streamlined or structured, writing a queries is very easy. So you need to spend a 5 to 6 hours so that you can become an intermediate expert in the SQL, which is very, very easy. So don't worry about SQL. So, sir, I need the topics which I have to prepare. I have mentioned here already. Okay. Yeah. Take a screenshot now. Take a screenshot of these things. Yeah. Yes, Sai Palkapati. Sorry. Yes, Sai. You have any question? Yeah, yeah. So I'm just repeating also. Some people are asking some questions. We have 2 sessions going on. So sometimes whenever you are not able to hear, I'm repeating the question, right? So you can see. He was asking what amount of SQL knowledge is required. I'm telling, yeah. I hope. Are we good? Anyone have any questions? Anyone have any questions on any of the topic, guys? You can ask me. This is the right time, guys. Maybe when we are going deeper into the sessions, so you will be focusing on the concepts, right? So if you have any generic questions today, you can ask me, guys. We have like 10 to 15 minutes of time.
Will you cover Hadoop, Kafka, Hive?
No. So in these sessions, we are not covering the Hive and Kafka. No. So
Hadoop?
Hive is nothing but a BigQuery. So I'm telling you guys, see here. What you are talking is the outdated topics. Okay, whatever you are calling, right? So I will tell you here. So Hadoop, you are asking. Hadoop means map reduce. It is replaced with the Spark. We are learning the current technology, that is Spark. And Hive is data warehousing. This is I told you, right? Just now I told you on premises, right? So this is on premises. What you are asking is an on-prem tools. Okay, what you are asking is an on-prem tools. Okay, this is what? This is cloud. Okay, we are using Hive means in the Google Cloud Platform, we are learning the BigQuery, which is very same, which is also data warehousing, which is also same for the data warehousing. And Kafka for streaming data ingestion, we are using the PubSub. Okay. So that's how these are the on-premises tools. We are not here to become an on-premises data engineer. Even you learn also, there is no opportunities for you guys. Even you learn also, you have to learn these things because you are not going to work on the on-premises because on-premises is no. There is no companies. All the companies are moving to the cloud only. Okay, so every on-premises company moving to the cloud, you don't have an opportunities nowadays. Earlier, when you go for like 5 years before Hadoop, people are very much important, but now no, the Hadoop is not having. So there are no very less openings for Hive also, Kafka also. You go and check it out. But for those who are having a cloud knowledge on the Spark BigQuery, for Spark PySpark developer itself, you have a plenty of opportunities. BigQuery also, you go check it out. So don't trust me. Let me gonna show you. For example, look at here. See. So now Cree, you go. Okay, that's my profile, but yeah. See, BigQuery, you have a plenty of openings. They will mention the BigQuery. See here, BigQuery jobs. In BigQuery in Infosys, 99 jobs. See here, guys. That's huge. One of the guys just updating it for just a BigQuery in Infosys only 99 jobs. See, only 125 applicants. Can you guess it, guys? See, people, when I'm saying this one, people are not listening to me. Guys, one of the guys who is working in the Infosys, he is telling 99 jobs are there in the Infosys for the BigQuery. He's just now updated us. BigQuery, only 125 people applied for it. Now tell me, guys, how much demand for the GCP data engineers for only for the BigQuery itself? I'm telling you, not even for other tools also. Okay, 125 to out of this man. That means if you apply, you get a job. If you just perform little bit, also you can able to get a job. So that's how the market is for the GCP data engineers. Okay, I'm telling you, if you are missing the sessions, if you are, so that means if you take a proper decision at this point of time, the whole thing changes for you. Okay, so if you open a right door at this point of time, the whole world will open. It's your chance, guys. Only for the 99 jobs only in the Infosys means in other companies, you tell me. See, actively hiring, the company is actively hiring for the GCP data engineers. If I have to tell you guys, Altimetric is one of the company. You put your resume as soon as if you mention GCP data engineer, you get a call. Okay, you get not only just one call. One of the guy will say, so I am third party for the Altimetric, I am a HR for the Altimetric. He will say, you attend for the interview. Even though you fail also, he will call with you again. You give me a second email ID, second phone number. Again, I will ask you, again, I'll schedule a one more interview. See, that's how the demand for the GCP data engineer. For one company, HR itself, it is saying to you that you give your second email and phone number that I'll arrange a second call. Okay, even you are not able to perform well in the first interview. So that's how Altimetric, Mindtree, LTM Mindtree, sorry, Mindtree, and the companies like Tech Mahindra, Infosys, and we have Capgemini. You go for Capgemini, plenty of opportunities. Capgemini, one more is Cognizant. Hiring like anything for GCP data engineers. And we have a Deloitte. For this in Accenture, I forgot to tell you because I worked in Accenture. For Accenture, they have an entire GCP, what we call, I forgot that, Google group, they call it as. Okay, there's a group called GCP. Out of in that group, almost when I joined, I was the fifth to sixth member only in that group. Now it is almost 100 plus members are there in that. 100 plus in the Infosys company for Hyderabad, only 100 plus members of GCP data engineers are there. They have a Google group. Google means GCP data engineers group. Okay, a separate cell. So that means an entire department is there for GCP data engineers. So that's how it becomes GCP. And Accenture, and we have
AGBG, Accenture, Google.
yeah, correct, AGBG. Yeah, one of the guys. See, I don't know why people remember all of these things. I was one of the member in the AGBG guys. Yeah, AGBG, Accenture Google Business Group. Thanks for reminding me. Yeah, Accenture Google Business Group. I was a part of that. In HSBC, yes, HSBC, like also one of my manager when I was working in the Accenture, she directly went to the HSBC as a manager. Okay, she is actually almost having 9 to 10 years of experience only, but she got a manager role in the HSBC. Correct, HSBC. And we have there's a company called Muthoot Finance. They will also read it. There's a banking companies. I don't remember those companies because these are companies we don't even heard. Also, some of the names we don't even hear. Also, some of the banking companies. Okay, so many companies are there. Some of the data and AI companies such as Tiger Analytics, they recruit it. And yes Bank, they are hiring like anything. Okay, Tiger Analytics, and we have a plenty of companies are there, guys. I'm telling you this, all the companies are, they need a GCP data engineer. One more thing is that the very biggest for those people who are facing a lot of problem with the gap also, I would say, sir, I have 1 year of gap, 2 years of gap, 3 years of gap. For you guys, there is a one more door open. Most of the people does not know about the contract roles. Okay, contract roles. See, people may get here for 4 LPA guy, here may they get 8 LPA. But in the contract is not like that. You have any years of gap. Okay, whether you have a documents or not also, they don't worry. But if you have a knowledge, if you are just 4 LPA, you can directly go for 18 LPA, 19 LPA also. Okay, 18 LPA. If you have just 4 LPA also, you can go for 18, 20 also. They will ready to pay because if you have the knowledge. Okay, and but the contract will be contract only like 1 or 2 years only, one year, 1.5 year, 2 years only, hardly. But itself it is that this guy he works for 3 years also, which you are able to just earn it in 1 year only. Okay, so that's how it is. So this is how you have a plenty of contract roles. Even you don't heard of such companies also, they are hiring. So now you can go here, see GCP data engineer, and this is one of the companies hiring. Again, lead data engineer, cloud architect, GCP BigQuery. So I mentioned GCP BigQuery data engineer, instead I would mention GCP data engineer. Okay, so it's easy, so that we can easily find it. Okay, see here, very plenty of opportunities everywhere. You mentioned, see, GCP data engineer, lead data engineer, GCP BigQuery, whatever they are asking, we are going to cover. HTTC, Supro company, rare company, we don't even heard of that. So IDC, PowerS, PwC. PwC is one of the big company. And Quest Global, I have worked on this one. This is my first company where I have worked on. They are looking for those people who are having 8 years of experience. See here, they mention 8 years also, but they recruit you if you have knowledge, and if you are 5 years also, they will recruit you. That's not a problem. They will just mention like that. See here, they are going up to 37.5 lakhs per annum also. So if you have 6 years of experience and if you are able to crack the interview, they are ready to pay 30 plus also. Okay, so that's how it is. So this is also one of the company. Thirdware, you get a call from the Thirdware. This is a very good company. And you have Arahas, you have see plenty of, even I heard of name all of these companies also. Okay, so you have these companies. So what you have to do, the only thing is that practice well, prepare well. I'm telling you guys, the sir is telling a 4 LPA to 10 LPA, 11 LPA also I can go. It doesn't come directly. If you are crack only, the interview you have to crack. If you wanted to crack the interview, you have to attend the session. See, paying the money is not that much important, guys. I'm telling you, you have to invest money. Investing will only work when you put a lot of effort. So maybe you are attending the sessions. That means you are investing some uh, two things. You are investing some time. People will invest some time and some money. Okay, and if you invest time and money, it will not help it directly. So sir, 1 hour I attend a session and I'm paying some 12K, 15K, 13K, whatever it is. And but what will happen, sir? But if you don't practice, you may forget. People tend to forget if they are not practicing it. So this is the whole mantra. The mantra is very simple, guys. You attend 1 hour daily without any miss. Whether you got a fever or whether you are in a very hurry task also you have. Don't worry. Just open your phone. Just put your earphones and try to attend the session. Okay, I'm not asking you to, even though you have a fever also, sir, I don't take it light. Okay, course is very important. It is going to be changing your life. So even though you got a fever, you close your eyes. You close your eyes. Just connect to your earphones and just listen to it. That's it. I am telling you, 1 hour plus 20 minutes daily for practice. 20 minutes for practice every day. 1.20 minutes if you are spending, or 1 hour 30 minutes if you are spending, I am going to tell you guys that within 2 months, after 2 months, you are going to see a result. Okay, for those people, every day 1.30 minutes every day means Saturday to, so Monday to Friday only I'm asking. Monday to Friday, if you have a 1 hour 30 minutes, that is more than enough. After 2 months, you are going to see the result, guys. Okay, there is a small saying, how can we practice? I am going to give you assignments. How can we practice means I am going to give you assignments, and I will also tell you how to create a free tier account. The setup, account creation setup, I will tell you guys. I will tell you how to create an account. In that account, I will give you the assignments. You have to practice. So this is what you have to do. And practice is some, one more thing is that whatever I have implementing, you have to redo the same thing in your time. So that is what we call is a practice. So if you do this one, you are for sure after the 2 months, for sure you are going to get the job. Okay. So that is what plenty of the companies, I'm telling you guys, these companies, for sure, at least you get the calls from these companies. For sure you get a call from these companies. Okay, some of the companies may not be able to provide you the whatever the money that you are asking. Some of the companies are provide you more than that you are asking. Okay, some of the companies. So that's how I'm telling you guys. So this is how it is. Okay, so this is it, guys. So I'm telling you guys, if you put effort and you get a job, that job gives full satisfaction. I'm telling you that this is what is there in the in the saying, there is mehnat ka phal meeta hota hai. That means what it is means that if you put a effort, the fruit that it is yielding, the your hard work, it's very sweet. You are going to enjoy it a lot. So put effort. Without putting the effort, you can't get a job. Okay, getting the job is very easy if you put an effort. Just 1.5 hours every day. That's it. Okay, yeah. And one more thing also, as I told you here, one more thing, contract. And you connect with me, I will give you plenty of freelancing jobs. Plenty of freelancing jobs are there in the GCP. I used to do it. People are even earn more than these things. Earn more than these people just are working 2 to 5 hours day. Okay, people here, people are working 9 hours, 8 to 9 hours. Here also 8 to 9 hours people work. But this guy is working 2 to 5 hours. However, this guy earning, it is more than those two people. Okay, so that is how. Plenty of jobs are there, guys, in the freelancing also for GCP. So there are 3 doors opened for you. One is a full-time job, one is a contract role, one more is a freelancing role. Okay, so you can go anywhere. Plenty of people will ping me in the LinkedIn and ask me, are you available for the freelancing now? I say, no, I don't get some time, but I can refer my students. So that is what I used to do. So one of the requirement just now also I got it. If you want, I can just paste it in today only. I got this one of the requirement. So 1 minute, there is this guy who works in who is there in the USA. His name is Bharat, RK Bharat. Okay. In the morning only I got this one in the today at 9:52 in the morning. So this is a requirement. They said 10 years, 15 years of experience also. I'm copying and pasting here. That is there in my WhatsApp, guys. This is my WhatsApp. In the WhatsApp, I have it here. Look at here. So today only got. See, this guy. This is a skills I'm copying and pasting here. It is very small. Okay, look at here. So this is how, this is a requirement for the US project, remote work from home, hiring for the GCP data engineers. The experience they are mentioning 10 plus also. But even though you say 6 people also they are okay with that. So and see here the rate. Okay, the position is long-term contract and the rate is open. This is means open package they are throwing. If you are a good expert in these things, see here a knowledge on the Hadoop, Spark, cloud computing platforms, AWS, Azure, and you have one of the programming language like Python, ETL tools, and some of the concepts related to the statistics also they are asking. This is in a healthcare domain. So that is how. And the package is open. So this is how I'm telling you. One more thing also you have to understand. Sir, I learned GCP. Can I be only work in the GCP? No. GCP is very, very similar to AWS, very, very similar to the Azure. So I am the right person to say this one, guys. I'm telling you because I work in all of these cloud platforms. I have a certifications. I have certifications 2, 1, 2. So total 5 certifications as a professional data engineer in all of these things. Okay. So I am a best person to say you for a GCP, for a data engineer. If you are learning one cloud, it's the same thing for other clouds also. Okay, so that's so you can able to easily work in all the cloud platforms if you learn one cloud. Okay, so that is one thing. Yeah, this is it, guys, for today. If anyone have any questions, you can ask me.
Sir, what is the service for data ingestion in GCP?
So you have a data fusion is there. You can also use data transfer services also you can use, and PubSub also for streaming data ingestion you can use. Yeah, plenty of services are there. Yeah. You can also use some kind of external tools also for that. Yeah, some external
Like
ETL tools.
previously, we were using Scoop and Amazon Kinesis and Apache
Correct.
NiFi.
Correct. Apache NiFi here also you can use it. The only thing is that you have data fusion here. First thing, data fusion, data prep, and one more is
PubSub.
you can also PubSub is for data ingestion for streaming, and you
Hmm.
can use data proc and data flow also.
Okay, two ingestion करने थे. Okay.
Correct. Yeah.
And one more question. Uh,
Yes.
big table is a replacement of HBase?
Correct. Big table is a replacement of HBase. Correct.
No
So
SQL
both are
database.
NoSQL databases. NoSQL databases. Yes.
Okay.
Yeah. So you have replacement, right? So HBase is on-prem and Bigtable is your
Hmm.
NoSQL. Yeah, in the cloud. Learning cloud tools important, guys. I am telling you, some people may focus on Hadoop. So you, sir, I would like to start from the basics. I start with the Hadoop. No ways. You are wasting the time, I would say. Yeah, start from the
And
cloud
then
directly.
one more data warehouse kind of like is Hive. So here is in
BigQuery.
BigQuery, correct?
Correct, correct,
And in AWS Redshift is there, correct?
correct. Redshift in Azure, you have a Synapse Analytics, similar
Synapse
tools.
Analytics,
BigQuery.
yes.
Yeah,
Thank you.
yeah.
Any
Okay.
ETL tool
We are
is
learning, right? EDL tools. I told you guys. So I think you guys forgot the course topics. Okay, we have a plenty of ETL tools. Let me gonna show up here the course content. If you go here, the ETL tools you are asking, the data proc is an ETL tool. So data flow is also an ETL tool, and cloud composer is also ETL tool, and the data fusion also ETL tool. Okay. Yes. You can also somewhere here see ETL. Here also you can see somewhere ETL. Here also you will be able to see somewhere ETL. Yeah, see it is here also you see ETL, right? So these are all ETL tools. Okay. Yeah.
Sir, please again share the course content
Yeah.
details.
Sorry. Course content. Sorry.
Course syllabus, sir.
Okay, you asking for a course syllabus. Let me gonna show you guys the course as per the course syllabus. We are starting with our cloud basics, GCP introduction, GCP interfaces, locations, IAM and admin, and these compute options is not for you. So one is this one, interfaces, locations, and IAM and admin. Once these concepts are covered, we will be going for the data engineering tools. In this one, we are starting with the cloud storage, cloud SQL, Bigtable, BigQuery, data proc, data flow, PubSub, cloud composer, data fusion, and Terraform, and Databricks also covered. And here I think I forgot to mention the cloud functions. Cloud functions are also there. Okay, so you have GCS, Cloud SQL, BigQuery, Dataproc, Dataflow, PubSub, Airflow, and you have Data Fusion, Cloud Functions, Bigtable, Terraform. All these things are covered. Okay. Yeah. Yes,
Sir,
guys. Anyone have any question?
should we join the contract job?
It's your choice, sir. I won't like to join the contract. It's your choice, sir. I am okay with that. Okay. In your case, sir, I am getting a good pay there. Go for that. It's not a problem. You can join it.
What is the negative point or
The negative point is that it's like if you go for a contract, some companies doesn't worry. Some companies put a restriction. If you are a contract to pay, they won't take you. That's something. But some of the companies, they don't worry if there is a proper demand for GCP data engineer for your role, right? So they don't worry about all of those things. For sure they will recruit. But some companies says is that for contract we are not taking. Okay. Yeah. Okay. Yes. So yeah, even in the Datamatica, there's a one company there also. Yeah, I think I know Sushovan. Yes, he told me already. So Datamatica is a company where even they are providing 40 LPA also, guys, for GCP data engineers. One of our student who joined today because he wanted to learn the course, guy. So he told me this thing, and I got very much happy with this. So there's a one guy here. I think Sushovan, right? So he told me, sir, I have 10 plus years of experience. I think this is his words only. Sir, I have 10 plus years of experience, but the juniors are coming with 4 to 5 years of experience, and they are earning like 40 plus with a GCP data engineer. But my package is around 30 only, 30 plus only. So that's the reason. Now this batch he joined, and he wanted to he wanted to learn more, and he wanted to become a pro, and he wanted to go for these jobs also. That's right, Sushovan. Can you tell me, isn't it? Correct. See, he said. So he connected with me from last 15 to 20 days, and I told him to join this one. So now he's here. So plenty of things. So one of the guy told Infosys is hiring. Okay. In my last batch, a student got 3 offer letters from Mindtree, TechM, as well as he joined in one of the data company. I don't remember that company. So he joined in a data and AI company. So that was also a very good company. Yeah, he joined in that company because they are paying almost double the package that he's earning. So that's how the very good opportunities, guys. Yeah. Yes, Prasanna Lakshmi, you have any question? You can ask. Yeah.
Hi, sir.
Hi. Yeah.
Actually, does freshers have any opportunities in this role?
I do have, but I don't think for freshers they are recruiting for GCP data engineer. But for freshers, it will be like for you as a uh, skill. Okay, it's like that you are attending some, you are learning some skill, and it will very helpful you in the future whenever you are going for a opportunities. But may it's not that the people are directly recruiting for the freshers for GCP data engineer. I don't say that because I don't want it to bluff here, but I'm not sure whether they are hiring for GCP data engineer for freshers. Very less openings for freshers for GCP data engineer. For experienced people, for sure they will hire it. But for freshers, it will be a skill for you in the future. If you wanted to become a data engineer, this course is going to be helpful for you. Whenever you go for an interview, you can say that I am learning the GCP data engineer. I know the GCP plus I know the data engineering skills also. You can say that. Okay, so that you can get the chances of getting the job becomes high. Okay, instead of being idle. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you. Any other questions? Anyone, you can raise your hand. Okay. So this is it, guys. This is it, guys, for today. And we will see a few more things tomorrow. And we are going to start with our interfaces tomorrow, guys, as I told you, right? So we have here GCP interfaces. I'm going to talk about what is console, what is Cloud Shell, what is Cloud SDK. Okay. Yeah. So our admins will contact you for the, okay. Seems like one of the guys. Saurav, you have any question?
Uh, yes, sir. Sir,
Yes.
can you please share this link of the notes in the chat?
Not now. For sure, I will share you, but not now. It's only for those people who are attending for the course. Once you have attended or registered for the course, I'm going to add your email here so that you get an access. Okay. Yeah.
Okay.
Okay. Yeah. Okay, guys. So this is it for today, guys. We will see a few more things in our tomorrow session. We are going to see about console, cloud shell, and SDK tomorrow. Okay. Yeah. Thank you, guys. Have a great day. Bye bye. We will meet tomorrow at the same time. Thank you. Thank you.